This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
So I am going to start with a question today. When something comes up in your life, maybe a situation presents, maybe somebody who is challenging in your life, we all have them. How do you deal with that? Do you respond to the situation or do you react to the situation? Now, that may not sound as serious or important as it is, but it really is. And it's a game changer. We're going to talk about that today. She's somebody that performs energy healing by using kinesiology and resonance repatterning and so much more. Helps people move their lives forward and realize this and a lot more, what we're going to talk about today. Gabrielle Poverchuk joins us on the program. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being back here. And going to be honest, I've heard this thing, respond or react. And I believe I see the difference in the two, but I don't know that I would be able to properly verbalize it for somebody. So that's where we need your help. What is the difference? Respond, react.
So in a quick nutshell, reacting is giving it right back to somebody, whoever you think had just slighted you, upset you, annoyed you, versus responding. You take a moment, you take a breath, think about it, and then you respond or not. That's the quick version. One is good. It makes you feel good inside. The other one is like, well, now I feel justified. But afterwards, it's like, doesn't sit so well.
So let's do a scenario. Let's say somebody says something to you and it made you unhappy or you don't align with what they're saying. You do want them to understand your point of view. You're not just going to, sweep it under the rug, because I don't believe that's the best thing either, because now you're holding on to that negative energy and just keeping inside. So they've said something, whether it's in an email, a text, or in real time. What's the difference? Give us one way you could respond to it and one way you could react to it.
Okay. Can I simplify it a little bit more?
Sure.
Example. Well, let's take me. I overstepped my bounds, not intentionally, but I did. And I was told so in a not very pretty way. That was a reaction from the other person, not a response. That person was angry, had a good point, but because that person was angry, he was reactive, not responsive. So what's a response? Had that person been coming up to me and say, hey, listen, we had it all taken care of. There was no need to do this. Could you please do this and that? And that's a response. And I would most likely have told him, I said, I apologize for overstepping my bounds. And we would be good. That person got his validation for me having done something wrong, but not lost his cool and walk away feeling vindicated. The word is what? Righteous, because he just let me have it. The response was reactive, not responsive. So you can't be friends and mop it up, or you now created a rift. The other one, you didn't create a rift. It is still a good situation. That is the difference.
Now, it seems that with the response, well, both of these things here, reactive and responsive, there's emotion involved, but with responding as opposed to reacting, it seems like you're pulling some of the emotion out. Is that true?
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
So with responding, you simply state how you felt. He was upset, and you state why you were upset. That's the response. That's it. Then whoever you responded to has a choice to step up to the plate and apologize. Now they also know not to do that again. And you walk away from each other feeling good because both sides got what they needed to know. One was basically told please not to do that again in a nice way. The other one now feels good because they were able to do that without repercussions, without bad feelings. That's the difference. Most people react, and that person reacted. So my response then was, geez, man, I'll take care of it, whatever it is. But now there's silence. So if you want to get along with people, silence is not a good thing.
It seems on the favorable response mode that you're intentional. You take time and you process it. So the time even if it's only for 5 seconds, somebody just said something to you, it triggered you. You're like, what? And you want to be angry. maybe you are.
Yeah.
But just taking a second or 3, I don't agree with you.
Or step out of the room. Yeah.
Or that. Yep. Let me get back to you on that. Walk out, excuse yourself, come back. All right, what you said there, I just want you to know, I don't agree with you. I appreciate your viewpoint. I'm thinking also come from a place of gratitude. You're thanking them for providing some information. Would that be, a plus there on the response side?
If you're mature enough, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And he would have gotten that from me as well. It's like, that's the apology, right? Admitting that you overstepped your bounds, whatever it was, absolutely. But because it was a reaction and he immediately walked away, no apology was issued. No admittance was issued.
Interesting. So instead of giving you a piece of my mind, we're flipping it where you're doing the same thing, but you're doing it in a different way. Would that be fair enough to say?
Yes.
Okay.
You're doing it responsive, meaning you have control over your emotions. You're not trying to rip somebody another whatever and unload your emotion now on that person, because all that there is really going on is emotions. And what you really wanted to bring across is, don't overstep my bounds. We got it all taken care of. And definitely, if all possible, have an apology for being overstepped, overstepping your boundaries. But none of that happens when you unload on a person.
See, I was a little fearful at the beginning of our conversation that you were pulling out the emotion and just kind of, I don't want to say being robotic, but you're just delivering some information. That's it. You are being, you're including emotion in that, but
absolutely.
It's regulated.
Yes. So the person had definitely a reason to be upset. He did, and that's a normal thing. But how do you bring that emotion across to the other person? That's what matters. And now let me tie in this a bit. He had a hot button. He had some kind of insecurity, immaturity, whatever it is inside him, which was his hot button. All right. And my action pushed him to that level of being hot under the collar. So he felt the need to vent, react.
Yep. Which we've all been
Was
there.
it, go ahead.
We've all been there. When we react,
Yeah.
Gabrielle, is that coming from another place? That we are being triggered. I hate to
Yes.
overuse that word, but it's kind of the
But it
best.
is.
It is the best description.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's something that got fired off inside of you
Yes.
by somebody's actions.
Yes.
It's hard keeping that in check sometimes. We just do it and we don't even know we're doing it.
Exactly. And we feel justified for doing so too, because now we felt like this person who overstepped our boundaries is now at fault for us feeling so bad. Two things happened. Yes, this person overstepped the boundaries, absolutely, but that person is not responsible for your feelings.
What else can you tell us between responding and being reactive?
Okay. So on a personal level, again, I was very reactive as well, and I did not like it. And I couldn't understand it, just like what we're discussing right now. Didn't know the difference, responding versus reactive. So when I was reactive towards the people who I thought deserved it, they stepped on my toes, they made me feel bad, whatever it is, it left me with a really crappy feeling afterwards. But I had no idea what to do. That's the downside of being reactive. And now I know better, but only because I did all this work with resonance repatterning. So I still have emotions, but rather than being on a level 10, having to react like, oh, do not do this ever again to me, you know, I'm now stepping back and like, yeah, okay, this was not a good idea. And then we discuss that in an emotional, mature, responsive way.
What's coming up for me is the time element. Because if you take that extra 3 seconds, it could be 5 minutes or doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's kind of a game changer.
It is. I mean, if you know that you're hot under the collar, it's your responsibility, or everyone's responsibility, to step back, cool off, literally, and then whatever it takes, take a walk, whatever it takes for you to calm down so that you can finally present responsibly represent what was done, so you can discuss that and receive what you quote unquote owed, meaning an apology, an acknowledgement, whatever the situation calls for. So yeah.
So I have a thing I learned about 5 years ago. I call it the 3 filter. I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but it kind of fits what we're talking about. Before you send an email, before you send a text, even before you say something to somebody, if you can process it fast enough, you put it through these 3 filters, if you will.
Okay.
Is it kind?
Yeah.
Is it necessary? Is it true?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't match, then you don't do it.
So the first 2, I would agree. You know, kindness goes a long ways. The truth, however, is that's a loaded word, because what's true to you may not be true to the other person.
Fair enough.
So, but if you can back it up, you know, from one, and then you're open enough also to hear the other person's side of the story, then yeah, it works.
Yeah, I'm looking at it this way.
Filters are always helpful.
Over time, over life, we all, in our journeys, I find that the word is it necessary is a good one, because somebody did something, said something to you, you want to react, fly off the handle. But then, you might think, when you regulate yourself, the necessary thing here, is it necessary for me to fire back at them? What's it going to do? Where's it going to go? And
Good questioning.
There have been times, well, many times, where I will type a text to reply and be like, walk away. Don't send it. Give it some time. Whatever it is, an hour. It could be two, could be a day. And come back to him like, what? Why the heck was I even bothered by that anyway? Delete, whatever, move on.
Very good point. It depends on how you felt that day, how you then interpret somebody else's text. Absolutely. So you checked yourself, and that was awesome, because when you don't check yourself, you open a can of worms, and then it becomes that tit for tat, which is awful. It doesn't accomplish anything. And trying to mend something or a relationship or anything for that matter after the fact is much harder than to step out and take a cooling pause, not responding, let it go, put your mind somewhere else, and then get back to it when you know that it's a better time to do so. So now, when you become reactive, then you also know that this person had poked something in you too. So that reactivity from that person got a reaction from you. So ask yourself, what was it that bugged you so much about it? And now I have to go back to the energy healing. I would not have been able to deal with this person's anger the way I did had I not dealt with my own insecurity. That reaction from that person would have fallen on very fertile ground, and meaning I would have probably been enormously reactive. That was one avenue, or turned it all inside and beat myself up for not stepping up or standing up for myself. So it is damaging, either external or internal. So again, because I have done all this energy work on myself, it did not find fertile ground. I understood where he was coming from. I appreciated the fact that he let me know I overstepped it, but unfortunately, I was not able to give him what he really was looking for, and that was an apology, because he immediately walked away, feeling righteous and righteous for having put me in my place. You have no right to put anybody in its place. You do have a right to step up for yourself and respond to a situation.
This seems like it's very insignificant. Everything we're talking about here,
It's huge.
it's huge. Yeah.
Because people like to get along. They like to be known. They like to feel safe with someone, right? But if you mess up and somebody either stuffs it down to who knows how long, and then finally they explode, they don't know where that comes from. They feel dumbfounded, and the result of it, they hear the words, but what else does happen too is, whoa, where did this come from? I can't trust this person. Now I have to walk on eggshells, Yeah. So no, people like to feel safe, like to know that they messed up, but in a kind way. And then they're more than happy most of the time, if you're emotionally mature, to say, okay, my apology, won't happen again, and move on with their life.
Now, you said we want to feel safe. It's my understanding that that is the baseline for everything, that or subconscious. Everything it does is to keep us safe.
Yes.
So in these situations where you might react, you don't even know you're doing it, but you're trying to be safe. And if you have to defend yourself verbally in a situation, we're still back to square one, being safe. Does it really come down to that?
Yes, it has. Look in the internet. People are more reactive than responsive. They don't have a responsible or technical or logical or clear-minded view all they do is dress people down, accuse them, judge them, you name it. There's nothing safe on the internet when people post a simple question. Oh, you're dumb. Don't you know any better? Come on, find a Google machine, do it yourself. There's nothing connecting there. Everyone is out for themselves. No one feels safe in that environment, at least not emotionally safe. And if people do open up emotionally, well, they're running the gamut. So the internet is easy to let go of. Many people have done that, but bring that home to your own four walls that you live with, your friends, your family, etc., etc. Not so easy to do. And those are the people you want to feel safe with.
Now we talk about this whole thing of feeling safe.
Mm-hmm.
Is it also we want to feel seen and heard at the same time?
Absolutely. Gosh, yeah, absolutely. Nobody takes the time to ask. None. So misunderstandings are everywhere, and they're so simple to clear. I'll give you another example. My birthday was just recently, and I had a friend. I want to take you out for dinner for your birthday. And I responded back, I said, I don't celebrate birthdays. Hear the word, celebrate birthdays. So the response comes back saying, oh, I will respect your wishes. You could tell by the wording, she was a little put off by that, rejected, put off, whatever it is. A few weeks later, I had a reason to call her, and I said, I'd like to clarify something. I said, yeah, you're right. I don't celebrate birthdays, meaning go out, make a big deal out of it, dinner, whatever. But you texting me, wishing me a happy birthday or give me a quick call? Absolutely. That's not celebration. That's just simply thinking about someone.
Well, okay. All right, now hold on a sec. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
yeah.
It could be misinterpreted.
That's what it was. That's what it was. So both of us had a responsibility, right? She could have said, what do you mean by celebrating? That's the little extra step, right? Because everyone thinks differently. And I could have said, yeah, I don't like to go out, but you can always text me.
So would you say the responsibility there for the clarity in that situation is equal on both sides?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, clarity and but nobody takes their time anymore. That's the reactiveness of everything.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Truth in that. No, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
and it comes back to the same thing. Time. Taking
and then
the time.
You're not feeling, and then you don't feel heard, you don't feel understood, you don't feel known, you don't feel safe, you walk in tiptoes, or you only open up that much because you're running the gamut, or it is a cycle. We need to get off that hamster wheel.
And it is challenging because we are now programmed in this society for instant gratification and instant results. Amazon, one button, click, most areas, it's here by 2 p.m. this afternoon. The telephone with the text. Now, the text was designed for quick communication.
Responses, and we got used to that.
Yes, but what's happening here is you're responding to somebody, but you're reactively responding because you're so programmed to grab the phone with your thumbs and put it down, and then you just sent it off without even taking that extra time to think about what you're sending.
Yep, we've been programmed well.
Yeah.
But it's still up to us. We cannot expect other people to make our lives better. If we don't like something, it's up to us to make a difference. So I could have let that friend go too. It's like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't want to, but I want friends. So I stepped up and then called her. We cleared the air. We had to do two things, clearing the air. Yeah, two. Which one of them? She says, there's nothing to clear. She shut me down. Boom, done. Well, I finally got to clear the air with her. And I said, look, this is not why I wanted to clear the air. This is what I wanted to clear the air for.
Mhm.
And she says, well, I know I'm really reactive. I said, and I'm working on myself. I said, well, that's why I actually talked to you, because I know that. She says, I apologize. Boom. That's a friend worth keeping.
Yep.
Now you know that when things are not going so well, you can talk.
You said
That's
something
what you
before.
want.
You said something before that clicked in my head, and for the past week and change, the song has been stuck in my head. It's a song from the early 80s, While You See a Chance, Steve Winwood, top 10 song. He's also the man who brought us Higher Love, which was number one
Oh, love that song.
a few years later. This was
Yeah.
his first solo effort. It was a successful album, but that song, While You See a Chance, is a lot of stuff in that song I think is very impactful. When the song came out, I hated it. I'm going to be honest. Now I look at it differently, but what's coming up for me with what you said a moment ago, this line, these 5 words are repeated in the song a few times because it's all on you, because it's all on you.
Yeah.
And it really is. And it's funny, when I used to think that it's all on you, it's like, oh, like it's a responsibility. It's heavy. It's all on me. Now I look at it as that's empowering.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So being all on you is heavy. Absolutely. But if there's another division here, if you look at life putting it on you, well, then you feel like a victim. And it's like, oh, when will it ever change? Well, it changes as soon as you decide to change it.
Thank you for saying that,
And
because that reframes
Yeah.
it.
And that's when I'm here. That's why I'm here, to help you change it. I'm just a facilitator.
You know what? What you said today, actually, go with the word clarity. There's a lot there. And again, a lot of the stuff sounds very basic, but it runs way deeper than that.
Yeah, it's very deep.
Wow. And there's many different modalities that you use to help us with that, from energy healing, holistic healing, even more kinesiology. We've talked about that before too. Find out what the body's looking for. Yeah. What's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you, Gabrielle, and even maybe start the conversation and see how you can help them?
Texting. I appreciate a text. I will not answer phone calls because normally I don't get a message. If I get a message, great. But texting is the best way to reach me. And my phone number is 206-498-9094.
206-498-9094.
You got it.
Great talking with you today. And
likewise.
Honestly, I didn't know if we could fill a full 30-minute podcast on talking about respond and react and the difference between. I was almost worried, like, maybe we should have some more that we add to it. We did, and more. We probably keep talking about it.
We could certainly talk more about that, because and give more examples for people to actually feel more connected to that as well. Yeah.
So important.
Yes, it is.
Thank you
You're
so much for
welcome.
today, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You too. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.